Hi, my name is Samant Herkins. I'm going to talk about astrology today. And I was just sharing with Kelly that astrology really is considered the first science from looking up at the stars in early human evolution. The wonder came forward of, okay, well, how far is the moon? How do the planets orbit? So it kind of brought math into the forefront. And now here we are in the 21st century, and astrology itself is evolving. There are systems called human design, and another system based on some of the human design information that's called gene keys. And there are websites, if you track those two names, that you can get more information about yourself through your birth information. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
I'm so excited.
I'll do yours right now then.
Okay.
Yeah. And try pretty, please.
Yep. Okay. Are you still in Spokane?
I'm not. I currently live in Auburn, California. It's about 8 hours north.
Yep, I just came from Oakland and Santa Cruz
Oh, yeah.
before living here.
Okay. Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I'm a retired park worker from Santa Cruz.
Parks.
Parks, raking, opening bathrooms, but I worked outside. That's why the space is so awesome. You know, outside, nature.
Being in the desert is...
Oh, the beauty here.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. It looks like 2 pages, and I'm going to do a transit.
Wait. We gotta.
Do you have time to me start the reading right now?
I sure do.
Okay.
Thanks.
Do you do a lot of filming? Like, can you edit this?
Yeah.
If I get tongue-tied or something?
Yeah, it's what I do.
Okay. Oh, wow, we can kind of see ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your natal chart. If you put this up to the heavens, that's the position of where all the planets were when you manifested on the planet. So, because you were born like 8/27, this is the horizon line. So the sun had already risen. So the moon had just gone above the horizon. Also, the moon was rising when you were born too. So your Aquarius sun, Pisces moon, and Pisces rising. So how I would interpret, and because your sun's in the 12th house and your north node's in the 12th house, you're in the perfect place when you're in this realm of the metaphysical world, because the 12th house is hidden to us. It's our subconscious as well as our superconscious, our higher self, and plus our old programming, that 12th house. And that's where you have your sun. The sign of Aquarius is the rebel, the revolutionary, that's going to change the world. And they're going to do it in a very clean, detached way. Aquarius is an air sign. The 3 air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So being the last of the air signs, it holds the most of the air qualities. Gemini, my wife is a Gemini, is that first energy of connecting, communicating, air, like that. Then Libra takes that information and balances it. Aquarius then takes it and organizes and takes it like to the next level. So as an Aquarius, you're interested in astrology, you're interested in the God, things that are different, away from the status quo. But because it's in the 12th house, it's nice you're getting this reading so you know that it's not always obvious to yourself and others. There's of where your place, where your feet will stand. Let's see how much earth you have. You do have a lot of earth in your chart, and it is in your 10th house of work in the world. So with the chart, each quadrant, so these are the houses below the horizon, and these are the houses above the horizon. We can see in your chart, most of your planets are above the horizon. So it is more about sharing yourself with the world, being involved with others. These are the I houses. I am, I have, I communicate, my home, I create, my daily routine. If this is the I am house, this is the we house. This is your own money, values, and resources. These are shared money, values, and resources. If this is home, this is out in the world. So we can go through and see the themes in your life that are going to be important. So this 12th house, maybe in this little time we have together, we can kind of unpack it, because your North Node is also there. The North Node is our karmic destiny. It's actually a calculated position. It's not actually like a planet like Mercury, but the nodes are what tell us when the eclipse is happened. It's the position of where the moon crosses the path of the earth or sun. I forget that. So we know there's going to be a shadow created on either the sun, because the earth is in between, to create the eclipses. So the North Node and the South Node represent our karmic destiny and what this lifetime is our default. So your South Node, unfortunately, this software doesn't show the South Node, so I just drew it in. So your South Node is in your 6th house of day-to-day routine, habits. So I would say if you are feeling ungrounded, make sure your daily practice, you have a daily practice. I think having a daily practice will help you open up this 12th house. Do you like to journal or walk in nature? Yes. How do you kind of bring out your dreams? Your dreams might be really important to you.
Yeah, every day my focus is my routine, feeling good, doing, like I have the things in my day that I like to do that make me feel good, and it doesn't matter when I do them, I'll just let it flow. So meditate, journal, take a bath, smell walk with my dog.
And that's what I really find. People figure out their life without astrology, but when you have this tool, it's validating and empowering. So stay on track with these practices I already have in place. And astrology can also help with timing. When I go to your transit chart, we can kind of see what is active in your chart now. This is the original blueprint, and then this is your transits of what's happening in your chart now. You can see this inner wheel is the same as this one, and this is where everything is today. The sun is 3 degrees Aries, the moon is in Gemini, but we're going to get to that in just a minute. I kind of want to go through this natal chart a little bit more. This Pisces rising and moon in Pisces and your sun in the 12th house, there's a lot of Pisces energy in your chart. Pisces is the visionary. It's the dreamer. It's the fish that kind of, in the symbol, are swimming the opposite way. So Pisces in the world, but not of it. You see in both realms almost. So this Pisces is important for you to embrace, because this dimension is so much about the material world. I love the invisible, because there's more invisible than there is visible, invisible than there is visible. So the invisible realm for you, it's almost more real than this one. Does that feel kind of, in your daydreams or in your walks, in your journal, you have your own world. Yes, you can operate in this one, and the other one is where you get your inspiration, your nurturing, your power. Go to the invisible for your power.
I'm most excited about what hasn't been created yet.
That is spoken beautifully. And you can access what hasn't been created. Carl Sagan has a quote, something like, there's so much yet to be discovered, open up to it. And you might be one of the people with this signature of the 12 to open up, because that's where the ideas come from, where the inspirations come from. Now, how are you going to get all that inspiration out in the world? So we're going to look at where your Mercury is and where Mars is. Okay. You have something called an intercepted chart. You can see how each line has these are the glyphs for the constellations. Aries and Libra have no line, so that's called intercepted. And so that means that 2 of the houses are ruled doubly. So you have Gemini ruling 2 houses and Sag ruling 2 houses, and Aries Libra is like open. So when I see the first house intercepted in Aries, I'll ask, has it taken you a while to find out, well, who am I? How do I operate? Does it just taken a while to kind of realize?
I'm 29, and in 28 I was like, okay, this
Perfect.
is how it'll...
Because that was your Saturn return. Saturn comes back to the position it was when we were born, around 27, 28. And that's like, okay, leaving childhood behind and stepping into adulthood. It's when college is finished usually, and maybe a commitment in relationship deeper to even children. So that first Saturn return kind of lets us see, well, which direction am I going to go? And with an intercepted first house, I would say it would have taken that long. And we'll go into that first Saturn return when we go to your transits. So natally, your Mars is in Taurus, so that is very grounded sign. It's an earth sign. Mars is the energy of how we go for what we want. Taurus is the bull, loves beauty, ruled by Venus. So when you do step out, it's going to be safe, grounded, stable, not as risky. Even though you have all these incredible ideas, when it comes time to put it forward, it's going to be not rash. It's going to have some planning and beauty around it. Let's see where your Mercury is in Capricorn, another earth sign. So here there's eclectic Aquarian energy, but when it comes time to express yourself, it's in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn is again that grounded, step by step. So when you do get an idea, when you do access the unknown and you feel like you want to bring it to this dimension, you totally have the tools to do that. Your Mars in Taurus, your Mercury in Capricorn, both earth signs, grounded, able to bring things into the material world. Your Venus is also in Aquarius, so you present also very unique, androgynous. Aquarius is eccentric, out of the box. So you can allow yourself to be however you want. Your goddess nature, just as unique as you. It's almost like you need to be unique. Aquarius is about being different, unique, and a little rebellious. So allow that, and it seems like you already have. So those are the personal planets: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. Then we get to the social planets, Jupiter and Saturn. They're in a sign long enough to affect society. So when you were born, Saturn and Capricorn, again, very grounded. You're totally right now in your Saturn return. See, look, Saturn. So this is so perfect. You're getting the reading. So Saturn in grounded Capricorn, Neptune in. So that's very interesting. And look at all this So you have this eclectic, visionary nature, but it's like almost very grounded, powerful tools to make it manifest in this dimension. So you're going to have to tell me your ideas. There's also a caveat there. Chiron in your chart is in Cancer, which opposes that Capricorn energy. So it's going to keep you from getting too lost in the material world. You're going to remember it's about nurturing too, the feminine. You have a lot of that rebellious, eclectic energy with a strong ability to manifest, but enough to remember to nurture, to bring in the yin, not just, the yang way of doing things, which you totally have the tools to do. Yeah, and then the generational planets, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. In the natal chart, I'll look at them more in the transit chart, but that's how I would, put it in a nutshell. The houses that most of your planets are in are the 10th, 11th, and 12th. The 10th house is work in the world and career. The 11th house is groups and associations, and here you are in a group. You're associate, you do very well in groups. And then you have your sun, north node, and moon in that 12th house. So that to me feels like your Fort Knox. Yeah. To go into that 12th house and the ganja medicine, that's where I can go and just kind of let go of, that I think the medicine is good for you. To access those other parts, the invisible parts of yourself, the greater part, the higher self, the source of all that is, great mystery. You can bring that and then discern what it is that you're gonna choose to bring forth with that. And I think it's gonna have a little bit of a rebellious, eclectic feel, but when you present it, people are gonna get it, with that earth that you carry. Do you have any questions or?
No, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is your transit chart. I'm going to take a little drink here. So this shows where everything is now around the original blueprint. So today, the sun, 3 degrees Aries. Moon is in Gemini. I ran the chart for noon because most people, today at some point, you're before noon, that, things are going to be pretty much in this position all day. But it just so happens that right now Pisces is rising, and Pisces happens to be your rising sign. So, let's see. Chiron, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Uranus are all in your first house. So since we moved into spring with the equinox, and maybe a little before because these have been in the house, a little more out of that, like winter time, we kind of hibernate. And maybe in the last couple weeks you've been getting excited about this event, coming out more, out of that hibernation into Aries, action. Because Pisces is that dreamy, sit by the fire, not that active. But Aries, it's like charge ahead. So right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in Aries, and that's traveling through your first house. So a lot of energy to put yourself out there. First house is self-awareness, self-knowledge, appearance. So I think this reading, realizing, okay, with an intercepted first house, it's really stoking that fire for you. Because an intercepted house just takes a little longer to integrate, maybe, to say it that way, especially with that Pisces flow you carry. So right now, a lot of spark for, you really felt the spark to connect with me and get the reading, so follow those sparks. And that self-awareness, that's what he said, I really like the tools for knowing myself. So that's Aries, energy in the first house. Your Mars in Taurus. So upcoming, I'm going to look in my ephemeris, is going to get a lot of juice. I think Uranus by fall is going to, but it's 11 degrees, so that won't be for a while. But Mercury and Venus will go over your Mars, so that will be a really nice boost.
Another
North Node leaving your 6th house. As the North Node moves
There are plugs
because
over
it's a
there.
calculate, it moves opposite. It goes from 12, 11, 10, where the planets go 1, 2, they move. But because this is calculated, it actually moves backwards. I hope that's not confusing. But it's going to go from the 6th house to the 5th house. So expect a creative burst. I'll put creative
Get an
burst.
extension cord for that. Okay, thank you.
And I'll put self-empowerment. And hopefully this reading will
That's a great
help that.
combination.
Yes.
Okay, there was a box full. Now I have an empty one.
So Jupiter's now in your 8th house. 8th house is about intimate relations.
Okay,
Are you in relationship?
Yeah, I have a white.
Beautiful. So with Jupiter in that house, expansion, either of
Nothing over here. Power-wise.
more shared communication of what you value, because that how and about how you share your lives together, expanded, because Jupiter is the biggest planet. It's about expansion. It's in Scorpio, so it might bring up a few shadows, and it's when we look at the shadow that we'll, oh, like Patty and I, anger's my thing, and she has a temper. So I've learned, okay, she's a Gemini, her anger blows over. I call it her New York edge. So I know, so with your partner, you kind of know what the shadows are between you, and when you can work with them instead of contract, which was my pattern, you know, so a great expansion in your relationship by willing to look at the shadow. Because Scorpio definitely, as scary as it is to look at our shadows, it's what takes us to our higher goodness.
We have a Chinese medicine birthday relationship book. It's the relationship one. And that's what it says in our reading. It's like, look at the shadows, communicate about them, and yeah.
Perfect. So it's right in a, yep. And now we're going to the 10th house. This is career, work in the world. Mars is there. Right now it's on your Uranus, so unexpected, because Uranus is the planet of change, transformation. It's actually what rules Aquarius. Each sign is ruled by a planet. Uranus rules Aquarius, and right now, though, and I got too complicated. I want to stay with your chart, so I'm going to backtrack. So Mars is going through your 10th house. What is your work in the world?
Write, video.
Oh, so no wonder. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so you're doing your work as you're recreating. Perfect. Mars, and it's a very grounded, material, concrete thing. But it's using, you know, that's really lovely. And then here is your Saturn return. Saturn in your natal chart, 9 degrees Capricorn. Saturn in the sky, 8 degrees. So you're right in the middle where I said, where you're deciding what I'm gonna declare myself an adult. What is my work? And then Saturn comes around again around our late 50s when okay, am I gonna retire? So it doesn't mean that this is gonna be your work forever, but you're really looking, okay, I wanna really step into what my work is, my service. And, you know, with your chart, hopefully you feel good about you're on the right path. You've really embodied your chart beautifully. And Mars will, you know, as you take those steps or get those insights, put a little engine to it. And
I love this.
Yeah, and Pluto, okay, is in your 11th house, so you're going to transform through groups and associations, which you're doing right now. And this is going to probably be in about 2 or 3 years. It's going to go over your Mercury, so how you communicate. Maybe a new technology is going to come forward and you're going to embrace it, and you'll have a new way to produce your films and what else did you do?
Right.
Right. you know, that a new way to communicate is on, you know, so keep your antennas up or keep your dream, you know, you'll search. There's going to be a new way for you to communicate in the next, you know, really just look for clues, but by the time Pluto is there, let's see when that date is. This is the ephemeris
Thank you.
that shows where all the planets are at any given time, future or past. So I want to know Pluto at 26 Capricorn. Oh, it's not for a while. Pluto moves only 1 or 2 degrees a year. So by 2021.
Okay.
Yep. Transiting Pluto conjunct natal Mercury. But yeah, that's a reading.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and now that I have your information, I'll save your chart, and you know when it does come, you know, like, oh, you know, and you want to look at your chart. I'm really happy, Kelly, to give you a quick little. It's my passion. My other passion is mosaics.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad they're right there. Because when you like walk up, you see them, you know.
And they're helping me too with
You know, it might be
confidence.
this unless you
and
disconnected it.
just yeah.
I plugged it in and it did not work.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I turned it on and then again it went out.